I missed the fucking cue. Can't believe I missed the cue to my own intro. I really need to upgrade on my thing. Welcome everyone to another Fgeitas show. It's March 7th. It's March 7th, exactly, like I predicted. March 7th. And we're here to deliver you the hottest piece of news and also the hottest piece of energy drink taste testing. I don't know where I was going with that. But first, welcome everyone. Welcome chat, welcome Abscon, welcome Rene, welcome Duplo, and welcome Rufox. Welcome to the stream. You also predicted that yesterday was gonna be the 7th today. Yeah, like I not gonna lie, I think we should play in the Euro Millions. That's I don't know, man. Like I'm feeling the luck there. I'm feeling the luck. But yeah, as promised, I've kept this bottle or this can actually. Like last week, I bought the other one last week, the Perrier lemon lime energy drink, and I taste tested it on the beginning of the previous podcasts that you can check out on YouTube. It's already up. And that was awful. Like the Perrier lemon lime tasted like nothing at the beginning, and then tasted just like foul. Battery acid flavor at the end. Like, it was not good. But now we're gonna taste test the Netflix Squid Game energy drink, mango flavored, I guess. Is there anything interesting? No, it's just the ingredients. 93 kilojoules. That's gonna be great. Hopefully tastes like mango. Check out the sound here. A little bit of SMR. Okay, we got some fizz going on. Smells like mango, so already a good start. Okay, it's pretty sweet actually. I mean, it's not too sweet, but it does taste like mango. Feels like a soda actually, instead of like a regular energy drink. Fall tasting energy drink sounds pretty regular then. I don't know, I like Monster no sugar, man. I think Monster no sugar is still like the best you can get. If you are into energy drinks, I guess. But so the story here is that I was gonna buy a Monster no sugar, and as I grabbed the can on like at the grocery store, I grabbed the first can, and it was like some can must have popped open during transport or during stock, and it was like all sticky last week. And I'm like, I'm not touching whatever the next can is. I don't want to risk having my hands all sticky throughout the rest of the shopping course. So I looked at the side, and there were two cans that like kind of like popped into my attention, and that one was the Perrier lemon lime, and the other one was the freaking Squid Game Netflix energy drink. I don't even know who's producing this. It's probably doesn't even Hot Shots Europa. It's being distributed by them, but it doesn't even say like who does it. It's just a distribution. I guess Netflix makes them from, I guess, the blood from Squid Game film shots. I don't know. Actually quite good. Not too sweet. Like, it's sweet, but not too sweet. It's actually kind of cool. All right. I'm gonna say, like, on the beverages that we tested on stream, I'm gonna say, like, this one already tops it. But I guess it's only 2, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, video games, right? Video games, am I right? I'm glad to announce that I've beaten Wolfenstein, the whole series, not counting the Youngblood game, which I don't own, and I don't make intentions of owning. I was reading through the description, and that sounds like a very multiplayer focused game, and I'm like, not sure if I want to try that out. But I finished Wolfenstein 2. Like, Wolfenstein 2 was definitely the best game of the whole trilogy. Excuse me. Like, the jumping quality is just absolutely stupid. From Wolfenstein, the Old Blood, and the New Order, like, when you jump to the new Colossus, it's absolutely stupid. Like, already, I've talked this last week, like, better lighting, better sound design. There was a thing I forgot to mention, which is the first one was really cool with the dual wield system, where, like, you could pick up 2 pairs of most of the guns, except for one, which is like a laser cutter. But most guns you could pick up both. Like, you could wield 2 pistols, 2 shotguns, 2 sniper rifles. On this one, there's a cool thing where you can mix and match. So you can dual wield 2 shotguns, but you can swap the left hand and, like, okay, I want to use a pistol this time on my left hand and a shotgun on the right hand, and the game just works that way. Like, you shoot each weapon with the corresponding triggers, and it's really, really good. Hey Nono, what's up? It's really, really good. Like, I had to play it in short bursts because of the motion sickness thing. But man, like, that game, and also the humor on that game is just miles above the first 2. So the New Order and Old Blood. So absolutely, like, I'm not gonna lie, if you are interested in playing Wolfenstein, like the machine games Wolfenstein, I'm gonna say just jump into the second one immediately. Just jump into New Colossus, because I don't think there's like a world where I can recommend you guys playing Old Order and New Order and Old Blood, just for unless you got, like, curiosity to see how all the series progressed. But if you just want to have a good time, just get to immediately. Like, you can see the whole story that happened before, and like what's important at the beginning of the game. And there's a choice that you need to make during the New Order playthrough that the game presents you with the same choice. Like, hey, this is what happened in the previous game, but there was this choice. What choice did you make? And, like, even if you didn't play it, you just, like, whatever, I'll just pick one, and you can pick the other option again once you start a new run. So yeah, like, it's fine. It's like, the gunplay is, like, the highlight of the game, that's for sure. Because the more you go, the more you pick up your weapons, the more evolved they become, and the more attachments you get to upgrade. And the upgrades are just, like, an absolute blast. You can have a silenced Magnum working as a sniper rifle. You can have a fast reloading shotgun, or, like, a shotgun that works as like with the drum, like with the drum machine gun. You know how those works. It's like the guns become absolutely, like, just monster guns by the end of the game. And you have I didn't do it all, but I've done, like, enough for me to get most of the upgrades. There's midway through the game, I'm not going to tell spoilers, but midway through the game, you are faced with a choice of having a body upgrade. There's three to choose from, but you can only have one. And there's what was it? Was the shoulder thing, like you could run and basically tear down some walls, some specific walls. Like the game does not have destructible environments, right? But there's like specific walls that the game lets you basically blast through. Like if you run up to that wall, the walls just explode. But also you can run up to enemy soldiers, especially the smaller ones, and they'll either get shoved aside, like with tremendous force. Like it's not like just small bump. You actually thrust into them and they go flying back. But also sometimes when they are like near death, you are running into a Nazi soldier and you will just explode, like giving you the feeling that you're somehow the Flash or something. Like the whole body just like converts into Gibbs, which is so funny. Like, and that was the upgrade that I chose. And there's two other upgrades. One of them is you can basically become super small and squeeze into really small spaces. Basically, the whole chest compresses into a small, like, rectangular shape that can squeeze through really, really narrow passages that otherwise Blastoids couldn't fit. And there's a third upgrade that you can basically jump, and if you jump again, like if you press the button mid-air, the legs extend, kind of like an Expector Gadget kind of situation. And so I chose the body, the shoulder tackle thing, because it seemed the most fun. Like I could just run up to enemies and bump into them and burst, and basically they'll burst into blood, and that was so funny. But then the game tells me like, oh yeah, you can get the remaining upgrades if you do this side missions that they have called the Enigma Machine, which is like 16 total missions that you have, like they're optional. Okay, 16 optional missions that you have to execute other German Nazi commanders spread out throughout the whole map, the whole world map, I mean. And I started to fiddle with them just to see what it looks like, but suddenly, like at the end of one, they're like, oh, you can upgrade, like you can get the other upgrades that you've missed. I'm like, oh, so this is not a one or the other choice. Like I can choose one, but I can get the others later down the line. So I start just ramping through the whole missions, and suddenly I think like in the last level I was completely decked out. Like most of my weapons were upgraded, at least the ones I liked the most. I didn't upgrade them all. And also like the 3 body upgrades like just turns you into a fucking monster up as an assassin. You are just like ramping through the levels, running through them, absolutely guns blazing, everything. It's just absolutely phenomenal game. Loved it. Like I did not expect to love Wolfenstein so much, especially being a first-person game, and I'm not too much into first-person shooters, but this one like absolutely rocks. Oh, also soundtrack by the guy that made Doom. So that if that's something that you enjoy, like definitely like just get Wolfenstein 2. Yeah. Other than that, I've been like playing some more UFO 50. I streamed it yesterday in this very same channel. I'm finally completing some games. So I've managed to get the cherry requirement for, so they have 2 requirements, right? If you beat the game normally, you get a golden cartridge or a golden border around your game. And if you get the extra requirements, you get a cherry border around your game. And I've managed to get the cherry border for Pin Golf, which is like a golfing game. I explained it last week. It's a golfing game that's mixed with pinball, but you can also dunk the ball in some way. And also I've got the golden border for Mortal. Mortal is a specific game where you start the game, like it's a puzzle platformer where you start the game with 20 lives, but you can you need to transform your, like, there's 3 abilities. One turns your guy into stone, the other one turns you into a human torpedo that you can use as a platform, and the third one is you explode, and that costs you lives, but you need to use those things as advanced. Hey Mary, welcome to the stream. We are talking about Mortal, so UFO 50. And so I finished the game on stream yesterday, and it was like, I got the golden border. I finished with 10 lives or something. And you can go back and do the levels like in a better way. So like the game is kind of weird to explain because it's like, it's a puzzle platformer. You need to progress through the levels while using those abilities. But you need to use the least amount of abilities, because every time you use an ability, you lose a life, right? So by basically strategically dying in specific places with the right ability, you minimize the casualties, and you get through each level. And there's a bunch of systems that interact, like if you explode near a fire source, that fire will ignite. You can burn specific like plants in the middle of the game. For a retro game, it's quite developed. I mean, as all UFO 50 games are, I guess. But like there's like 4 levels with 3 sections each, I guess, and I ended up finishing the last level on stream, like the final boss, and I thought, okay, like, cool, I got 10 lives. I know it's not going to be the cherry border, like it's probably going to be the golden border. How much is the cherry border? And I went through, it's like, you need 75 to finish the game with 75 lives. I'm like, oh damn it, this is way harder than I imagined it would be. So now I'm trying not to look up for a guide, and I'm trying to do this the old school way and try to beat the game on my own pace, and try to do it by my own hand while doing other games. So like I guess UFO 50 will be the upcoming like main game for me, besides Tekken, obviously. But yeah, like that's it for games. Like UFO 50 and Wolfenstein, I need to check out if there's like another game I want to play in the meantime. I was looking into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or The Evil Within, I think. One of those will be definitely one of those games. Definitely will be one of those that I'll probably start, unless something catches my eye in the meantime. But you guys are not here to hear me talk about video games, at least the ones I've been playing. I'm gonna say we're gonna go into news. As a Xenoblade fangirl, I recommend ZV3. I mean, I played 1 and 2 already, so like the 3 NX, which is coming out on Switch, will be the next ones for sure. But I want to play 3 before I play X. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, I quite enjoyed. I think that when I played Xenoblade 1 on the Wii, I did not fully realize how cool of the game that was. But eventually, I bought Xenoblade 2. Actually, it's kind of a funny story because I was playing. So I bought the Switch, and my idea was like, hey, let's just buy like the Switch exclusives, right? To play those, because I play the rest of my games on PC. But I haven't played a JRPG in a long time that made me really feel like I really like JRPGs. There was a time during that era that JRPGs were like stupid easy. Like you had, I guess, Pokemon, you can call it a JRPG, but it's basically just mash A to get to the next sequence. It has no difficulty at all. Or you had the extreme opposite, where you had like Lost Odyssey, where you need to do exactly the right strategy, or the game will punish you for it. And I was feeling like I'm not trying to like this genre anymore. So I bought the Switch and I started like collecting those games, and suddenly Xenoblade comes out. I actually saw alpha version of Xenoblade 2 when I got to Nintendo. Like me and Glauco were invited to Nintendo headquarters in Portugal, and we saw some of the games that they already announced. Like we saw Mario Odyssey, we saw Zelda, and I think it was 1-2 Switch. I might be wrong though. I'm not sure if it was 1-2 Switch. But then, like at the end, there was a small presentation with 3 extra games. I don't remember the third one, but one was definitely Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS, which was pretty cool. I think it was the best 3D implementation I saw on that console at the time. And the other one was Xenoblade 2 early alpha. Like the lightning wasn't even done in the initial section of the game, and the guy, like some guy from Nintendo Italy, was just showing the game there to us, like how the game worked and how the game played. But like it was a hands-off demo, and I saw the game, was like, oh, this looks pretty neat, but it's maybe not for me, because I don't play JRPGs for like quite a long time. Eventually, I start collecting the games, and Xenoblade comes out, and it's getting perfect notes all across the board. I'm like, maybe I should try this. And I remember like going to the store, picking up the game, and like maybe this is a mistake. Like I'm not even that much into JRPGs anymore. And suddenly, I think I started playing, and around like 10 hours, the game started to click for me. I'm like, oh wait, this is actually pretty cool. Let's fucking go. And I think I finished the game with like 170 to 100 hours. I'm not even sure. But I remember like getting to the end of the game and being like, oh shit, this is actually pretty cool. Turns out JRPGs are still cool. I was just like not in the mood, I guess. But yeah, like let's go into the news, because we got some interesting things to show, and also we're gonna watch 2 things live, which is the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater trailer, obviously, like very excited. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and Nacon Connect 2025. They announced a bunch of new games, and some of them look quite nice, but I didn't see the whole show. So let's dive into this. Oh no, you guys saw the whole thing. Oh no. You guys saw my whole setup. I need to figure out how to do this better. Let's go. No one saw that. It's just buttons, I guess. First of all, let's do it, Phil. Hideki Kamiya says he'd still love to make Scalebound one day. The former Platinum Games co-founder says the cancelled Xbox game is still on his mind. Why do I have sound in this thing? What a setup. Yeah, I don't know. What setup? Who talked about setups? Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, and Okami director left Platinum a year and a half ago, and is currently working on a sequel to Okami with his new studio Clovers Incorporated. However, the new tweet posted by the official Clovers Inc. account on X suggests that Kamiya still doesn't have the cancelled Xbox game Scalebound out of his head yet. If you remember, like, Scalebound was cancelled, I guess, was it announced for Xbox One already? Or was it like the beginning of the series? I think Rene can confirm there. And like the game was looking super sharp, super cool, and we got the news that the game was cancelled. Xbox One, my god. And Kamiya still hasn't let it go. Early Xbox One, damn it. So there was a tweet by Clovers where Kamiya was reminiscing about you know, games that he worked on before on the main account, and then Kamiya retweeted, "Let's do it, Phil," for obviously like mentioning Phil Spencer from Microsoft and Xbox. So like he definitely still wants to do Scalebound. I'm not sure this is like will lead to anything. Like Scalebound, from what I understand, like costs a lot of money for Xbox to develop, and canceling it was kind of like a kick in the nuts for many fans, including myself. And I don't think like Xbox wants to pour that money already into a, like, I guess, a canceled game. Then again, like Cameo with a new studio and not being shackled by the heads at Platinum and other companies and other investors, like maybe he can get the game. But to be honest, like if he gets the game, I don't think we'll see the same game we saw back then. We'll see a whole new iteration of Scalebound. But yeah, like kind of cool. Like I think obviously like people like Kamiya, like that love their projects, will always reminisce about the ones that they never get to finish, I guess. And this is the proof that like he really still loves like what he does and the games that he's doing. But yeah, we'll see. I wanted to highlight. We all remember Scalebound quite fondly, most of us. But in the meantime, speaking of other studios, like Rockstar acquired studio founded by the director of L.A. Noire and The Getaway. Actually, I didn't read too much into this because like they acquired the studio that made the L.A. Noire and L.A. Noire the VR case files. And most recently, the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. So they were already working together for over quite a few years. I forgot to mute my WhatsApp. I'm so sorry. And so like this was more like let's close the deal, actually, because you guys have been working for us for quite a few times, and at this point, like just might as well just merge the two things. The weird thing about this is like I don't think this even means that L.A. Noire will make a comeback, to be honest. L.A. Noire was at the time quite cool for its tech, the face capturing tech that they had at the time. It was quite innovative in that sense. I'm not gonna say it was perfect. There were sections of that game that were not quite, I guess, working as they intended. But the technology is there. However, like that was what 15 years ago now, and yeah, press X to doubt, right? I don't think like we evolved past that, right? And I don't think like bringing L.A. Noire, unless you want to like a new story set in the L.A. Noire universe. But I think that also Rockstar usually does games to showcase some type of new technology, right? And they're obviously doing that with the new GTA, with the new upcoming GTA, which means that I don't see a world where L.A. Noire returns, like at least in the upcoming years, unless it's something like, you know, like a small budget project compared to GTA. I mean, everything is low budget compared to GTA, but I don't think like we'll see news on the L.A. Noire. This will definitely still be a studio that will aid in other projects like the GTA remastered trilogy that came out, or other games. You know, they could bring back Rockstar Table Tennis for all I care. But this will probably merge into the main team and help them with GTA, and especially with GTA Online, if there's a thing like that on 6. But yeah, in the meantime, like nothing major, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was actually announced this time, the worst kept secret of all time. I'm quite liking this. Squid Game is not that bad, turns out. So let's check this out. Let me turn on desktop audio. I'll probably get copyright claimed here, so it is what it is. Not actual gameplay, by the way. It's so cool to watch these like remastered levels, like Foundry. You saw Canada already. We're getting Alcatraz, LA, and Brazil as well in as a competition. And like most of these levels look sick. I feel it's the same engine as the 1+2, because it's still coming out on Switch. So I don't expect much of gameplay changes compared to that remaster. Airport level, that was so cool. And was this the cruise ship? Cruise ship, exactly, yeah. This, from what I understood, it's a new level. It's a water slide park, which is coming out specifically for this version of the game. Kind of weird, not gonna lie, that they decided to... Oh, we can now watch the digital edition. Digital edition, turns out, comes with Doom Guy, or Doom Slayer, and the Revenant characters. Also includes bonus music, so E1 M1, played by a live band. Dude, the dude caught me off guard, not gonna lie. Also, pretty cool trailer that they made, like the interactions between Revenant and Doom Slayer, just like doing tricks off each other, and at the end they make Doom Slayer just shove the Revenant into the Foundry. It's so cool. Like perfect trailer, well done. One thing that I need to rant about, it's this. Early access, you get wireframe Tony shader. It's fine, I don't like it anyway. I think this looks pretty weird. But early access to get, obviously, the if you pre-order the digital deluxe, you get the games 3 days early. So game for me actually comes out on July 8th and not July 11th. But also Foundry demo access, like I hate when they did this in the previous one, but pre-ordering to get access to a demo, like, it fucking sucks. I think that's it's actually like pretty shitty to do, not gonna lie. Like, just give us the demo and like see if the game runs well, it works on your computer or on your machine. And if it doesn't, like, I won't pre-order, but I don't want to pre-order to get access to a fucking demo. I don't think that's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. But they did this previously, and they're doing this again. I think it's something that people should not comply with, but you know, it is what it is. So that this is what we're gonna get. Also, it's that probably means the game is poorly optimized, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, the first game was actually pretty decent. So they did the same thing, and when it came out on the Epic Store at first, the game ran pretty smoothly. It's basically just like them being, you know, jackasses in terms of marketing and monetization. At the same time, like, since we can this time actually pre-order on Steam instead of Epic, because Epic still has a lot of problems with their UI and their like the way that store functions. It's not, they don't have bad games or anything. It's just like, it compared to Steam, there's still like a lot of resources missing in that storefront. Like there's still no public discussions. you barely have customer support. So when you pre-order that game on that store, like, it was done. Like, you've paid for the game, you're gonna get access to the demo. But I don't think there was even an easier way to undo the pre-order. But since you can actually pre-order this on Steam, you can pre-order the game, download the Foundry Access demo, and then, you know, if it doesn't work, just like undo the pre-order. So at least there's that, right? I still don't think it's the best option. I still think like a Foundry demo should be access to everyone, because it's a demo. That's what a demo is. But at least it's not as bad as the previous entry. And speaking of changes, they're making big changes to how Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 worked. We talked about this last week as well. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 was a weird game. As the successor of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 still had the classic thing of having 2 minutes and a bunch of like a quest checklists for you to do on that level, while Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 moved to some people call it open world. It's not open world, but it's more like an open level design, way bigger in terms of size. And you had a free skate mode where you would walk around and do tricks everywhere. And when you find, sometimes you would find an NPC or something to interact with, you'd get the timer related to that quest. So you'd get like, hey, do this combo manual, or do this collect the skater letters that are just right here. And that was an NPC prompt. That's how Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 worked. Which, like, in hindsight, I still say that it's what they wished Thug would be. And like when they released Thug, that system was fully realized as a whole. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 felt like a half step between 3 and 4. 3 and Thug, actually. So like because that style of like free roaming and NPC quests and interactions does not work that well with that style as it was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, they are redesigning the whole thing to fit the whole Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 style. So you're gonna have 2 minutes as the classic mode goes, and yeah, I think it makes perfect sense, to be honest. Like I think like that system was not great, to be honest. But I also think that system was not great because the levels weren't as great as the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 levels were, because once again, like, they decide to make the levels bigger but not better, right? I'm not sure if I'm making sense here. But yeah, I'm actually like a big fan of the 2-minute sessions for the classic system, and I get, though, like, people being mad because when you advertise a game as a remaster of an old game, right, you are expecting that game to play something similar to the old game, and this is not at all like the old game. This is like it's an adaptation of the levels for a different style. Again, I think that it will fit better overall as a package, but I get why people are mad. Because, you know, some people still remember fondly of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, and they wanted to play that game again on, you know, better hardware, better graphics, and yeah, like, I know it's a remake, but they were there's expectations, right? That you say when I'm doing a remake of the first game. But yeah, I think there's a potential of being a better experience. Like, absolutely. I still think, like, I will defend this decision that they made to fit the games as a whole package, because I also didn't like the system for 4. Then again, like, I understand why people are like, I'm not saying upset. Maybe upset is too much of a big word, but they I can see the disappointment of like, oh, I thought they were giving us like the classic Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 experience, and turns out this is not it. And even like so this is article by Zach Zuizen. Hopefully I pronounced the name correctly. But even him is saying like, but I understand for fans of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, the changes to career mode are a big bummer. Yeah, like I totally understand that. That's for sure. And if it's a deal breaker for you, like if you wanted Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 back, I totally agree. Like I don't feel why you should be like, I don't think you should be ridiculed for not liking this change. Like, it makes sense. Again, I'm perfectly fine with this. I just want more Tony Hawk to play. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Like that's neat. That's kind of cool. Okay. The PS1 version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 had that free. Wait. PlayStation 1 version? I don't remember that. I didn't remember Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 had a PS1 version. What the hell? Actually, I need to check that out now. Holy hell. You got that version first? Okay, let's check out this Benedict. Okay, let's block these ads and keep going. Oh man, I was not expecting. Oh man, the draw distance in this game, like you can clearly tell you're playing on a PS1. That's actually kind of nice. I didn't know this version existed, to be honest. Can you close the window, please? What? The maps have the same design. Yeah, I can see it. I remember this map. I was just not expecting to see in such a, I guess, a polygonal format. I'm gonna take a call real quick, if you guys don't mind. So let me just mute my mic here real quick. So sorry, that was an important call. Yeah, kind of cool. That was true for PS3. Yeah, I remember. I remember playing the demo of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I remember the big change that game had was it still had the big drop warning. If you jump from a place that was too high, and you had to press the jump button or the ollie button again for you to land that skateboard. While if you manage to play the game on the PS2 and subsequently the PC version, the big drop mechanic was taken out. And on one hand, I think it's kind of cool that they removed it, because like you just want the trick system to be there. At the same time, it's like, I don't know why. I think at the same time it was kind of cool that they had that thing like in place, because Big Drop was like a test of skill. Oh, there was no NPCs because they probably didn't have enough memory. That's actually those differences are so like they're so interesting to me. Like it's such a like it's a I guess a like a specific image of that time and place where like consoles were getting games for both systems, and they were quite different from each other, like in some capacity, because of the difference in memories and all that, because the power level of one system was not enough for them to make the full game as they were doing in the next one, but they will still manage to get some of those games in there in some fashion or another. These are quite cool. This is quite cool. I kind of like this. I might fuck around with this on an emulator just to check this out. Okay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 for PS1. So next we're gonna check out Nacon Connect. Nacon Connect happened 20 hours ago. 20 hours ago, and I saw that they announced some games. I didn't saw the whole thing, so we're gonna go through this as we all learn what games came out. Let me know if the sound is too much for you guys. Guys okay? Oh, RoboCop, right. RoboCop is getting a sequel, right? Sending job applications for now? Yeah. Grind never stops, man. Nacon publisher sale, massive savings. Yeah, I heard RoboCop is getting a sequel. Oh wait, okay, I can actually push this forward. Wait, I was seeing one thing. This is what I think it is.
I'm so scared.
Architect Life. Okay, no, I got the Cooking Life Simulator.
Last on it.
Because Rini and Glob gave it to me on a... Okay, let's advance this. Okay, let's get on with the show. Just buy it. Oh, hell is this? Okay.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yeah, I forgot Hell Is Us was coming from Nacon. Let me check one thing here real quick.
Good evening, Noah. Having trouble sleeping again? Your cortisol levels are elevated.
I think this is my only Nacon game.
The detecting temporal anomaly.
I mean, we'll see. I saw like in passage, so I was not sure if it's a sequel or an expansion. But like either way, cool. Is this the health is us thing? How's the sound, guys? Is it too loud for you?
Stabilize your breathing rate. Focus on my voice. Vital signs.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Stay with me, Noah.
Usually you want the water to be outside the suit, not inside. My mic is really low. Or is it me talking low?
No. The knowledge. It's beautiful.
I can't boost it anymore. I think that's...
Good evening, Noah. Having trouble sleeping again?
It's hitting the -10, I think. Because I don't want this to be like clipping, I guess. I can't put it like louder. Okay, like
Hi, this is Britt Hansen. I'm 16.
this was just
I'm from a small town in Montana, and getting onto a TV show is my dream.
Welcome aboard. You'll be my paranormal field investigator while I'm stuck here at the
I don't like when games give us just the
All right, let's give people the show they want.
the cinematic trailers. Like I don't even know what the game was.
Can you speak with ghosts? I seriously
3310.
need them to
Yeah,
stop
I
rearranging
thought the
my
same.
soft drawer.
I can barely understand the living. The dead are way beyond my linguistic skills.
You and me both.
So this is definitely set in like 1990s, late 2000s, early 2000s, late 1990s,
Pretty
right?
dark in here. Let's see if we can fix that.
Can you see any footprints around?
Do ghosts leave footprints?
No, but you need to be careful of more than just ghosts.
Okay.
Emily.
Hey Chunka, what's up?
This place is cursed. I can't stay here one more minute.
What is it?
Come on.
Oh no, not the
There's a
upside down
case that
cross.
makes you,
What's going on?
and a case that breaks you. This one did both.
The fading of Nicole Wilson seems like one of those walking simulators with what was the other one? I saw Rufox playing it like a few months ago, and I forgot the name now. I'm doing good, man. Edge of Memories, man. These titles kill me.
The corrosion loves me. And do you know how I know this? Because it told me.
Anime games?
Corrosion is divine.
You forgot the name too. That because the game it's finished, right?
Absolute marvel, far beyond your very basic ability.
That mean the game was really good, right? For you to not remember the name as well.
One can mold the corrosion however one sees fit. Corroded stones, corroded plants, and even corroded humans.
Is this like an hack and slash adventure hack and slash?
Great sea of the corrosion. What matters from now is the sacred language of the limitless.
It's a Nacon event, so it's a Nacon showcase. They streamed it yesterday, and I did not have the chance to see it.
Let the corrosion choose her champion.
Why does this feel like a budget Genshin Impact? Nacon, the people that make the controllers. Right, exactly. 900,000 players have joined the Raven's Watch. I don't know what Raven Watch is. Oh, it's a roguelike, okay. Everything feels Kyle Bidget. Feels Kyle Bidget is very good. Kyle Bidget. Why does that sound like a Harry Potter character?
We're never one
without the other.
Kyle Bidget!
on guard, my love.
The hat shows Ravenclaw for you.
My Juliet shall shoot them through and through.
I'm gonna name my next custom character in like whatever game I play Kyle Bidget. It's gonna be it. Kyle Bidget, the Doomslayer. Yeah, this feels a lot like Hades.
Beckon for my blade.
Unless my bullet finds its target first.
Yeah, it's this month, Expedition 33. Oh, not the ad. Not the fake game ad, come on. Yeah, Nacon does a lot of stuff. I was saying, like, I got a Nacon game right here. We're getting a new racing game. This month is Assassin's Creed, from what I remember. Suikoden? If you're into that, Berserker. I think I played other Nacon games, not gonna lie, but let me check it out here. Nacon is a French video game publisher, so yeah. Vroom! Yeah, most of them are like low budget stuff. World Rally Championship 5, for instance. Followed by I Love My Pony on the 3DS. Sherlock Holmes, Flat Out 4. Flat Out 4 is actually pretty nice. Premium Pool Arena. Oh right, they publish Outcast, that's true. The Sinking City. I remember something fishy about that game. No pun intended. Some problem with like the previous studio. Werewolf the Apocalypse as well. I remember this one. Roguebook, Cricket, Vampire the Masquerade, Swan Song. But yeah, they're mostly like. It's specific. It's very specific. Oh, they made. I think. Yeah. They've made Lord of the Rings Gollum.
There were too many. And their weapons. So many good officers that...
We're the cops. All the bad ones would be afraid.
Oh yeah, the new RoboCop thing.
What do you want us to be?
Roguebook is awesome. Okay, there's a recommendation in chat for MapsCon. Roguebook.
What do you think, Loki?
We're getting like a revival of 80s, late 80s, 90s action movies on video games, and that feels weird to me in some fashion, you know. But they don't look bad.
Trouble then.
There you go, RoboCop Rogue City, unfinished business. Doesn't say anything if it's a DLC or not, but I can actually check it out. Nope, it's an actual new game. RoboCop Unfinished Business. I mean, RoboCop is a movie. It's a pretty good movie, not gonna lie. First one is really good. Second one, it's okay, and third, it's whatever. But first one is kind of neat. We also saw that Terminator 2 retro-style game last week, and it's like I don't understand how they made the title sound like a movie. Yeah, like it's in brand. It's on brand. Oops, that's oh, okay. Turns out there was nothing. There was something. Shit. What is this? I was not expecting the gun.
Why did you shoot? Why did you shoot him?
I don't think it's coming back.
Yeah, I got this.
Alpha gameplay footage. So the game will look nothing like this. That guy was hiding under like in the back of a small tree. That was pretty cool.
Guys, I'm lost. Where are you? Oh, not again. I can't hear it. What did you do with my mom? Sorry.
Can't understand if this is like the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu. What is it? Is this like a multiplayer? Is this like a survival game? I wish they explained things a little bit better, because right now I'm just looking at trailers and like, yep, the stuff is happening on screen. Feels like a single player title, not gonna lie. Echo Software, okay. Dragonkin, the Banished.
Discover a world corrupted by the blood of dragons, where evil creatures have taken over the land and wiped out much of humanity. Become a legendary hero, driven by a single mission to hunt down and destroy the draconic creatures.
Hey, you guys like Diablo? What if you didn't have to pay for Diablo and play this?
Each battle brings you closer to your ultimate goal to confront and eliminate the powerful dragon.
To be fair, if it's not riddled with microtransactions like Diablo 4 and Immortal are, feels like a nice alternative if you are into this type of hack and slash. Or these action RPGs, how they call it. Then again, yeah, you have Path of Exile 2 coming out, and it's gonna be free. So it's either like you're gonna pay for upgrades, or you can pay for a full game. The worst time to place an ad, man. YouTube, what are you doing? Available now, okay.
Hello everyone. Thank you all for being here for Nacon Connect 2025. I am Jean-Georges Levieux, production director
Hello.
at Eco Software and game director on the hack and slash Dragonkin the Banished. Here we are, after almost 3 years of development, Dragonkin is launching today in early access on Steam. Over the past few months, we have shared videos, dev blogs, and news on our Discord with you, and on behalf of the entire team, I sincerely want to thank you for the support and interest you have shown in the game.
Okay.
We hope you enjoyed this new trailer and that you are as excited to play Dragonkin as we are to read your feedback, which will help us improve the game during early access. We are eagerly looking forward to sharing our ongoing developments with you and, most importantly, revealing more about the upcoming updates planned for throughout early access. So if you want to learn even more about the game, its development, the content of future updates, and especially everything the game already has to offer, join us in a few minutes on Nacon's official YouTube channel for an exclusive interview with several members of the Dragonkin team. See you soon and enjoy this Nacon Connect.
Cool. More racing games. Test Drive Unlimited. Clan Wars was initially planned for Season 3, but it's been postponed. Are they publishing Test Drive now? What the hell? They are.
Introducing Season 3.
I forgot the new Test Drive came out.
Solo mode. Choose to face other players or only AIs in the new solo mode. Including
Test Drive was poorly optimized. I mean, yeah. So I heard. I mean, it's probably better now, right?
Choose your AI
That's how game works nowadays.
and earn adaptative rewards.
I just feel like it's so weird because Test Drive was like when I was a kid, like Test Drive was the main competitor to Need for Speed. But at some point, Need for Speed made the jump to Need for Speed Underground, and Test Drive never really caught on. So it's kind of weird to like suddenly. Like, you get remember, oh yeah, like, the new Test Drive came out. Like, oh, really? Huh. I was not... Pinifagina Bautista. Okay, that's, quite a nice car. Those are definitely cars. I'm not sure I'm interested in all this. Cars go room, I guess. So let's go forward and see what's more. PWR, what's happening? You don't need to kick the door, dude. Okay.
Oi, Lucky wants you back at the office now. How long have you paid for us to be in here?
Paid? You know, this would be a lot quicker if you helped. Well, whatever, man.
Oh, this is their announcing their...
Go. What do you mean we're gonna go? We have a job. Okay, I got the car ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, they always go for more simulation and realism instead of arcade feeling.
I let you in, man. Right. Wait,
Those, like, I think until, like, Test Drive 3, it was still some arcadey feeling, but then, like, they just completely split. But then again, like, for simulation, you had Gran Turismo at the time. And Gran Turismo was taking everyone, like, for a ride. I'm not sure I want to see ads for...
Screams drawing me in.
Oh, that was too much.
Voices. Screams drawing me in.
Witcher? Is that you?
The pendulum.
Okay, that's definitely a Witcher. Someone completed the quest. Three quests. Okay. You are the bird. Spreading the disease. Okay, I don't think the na-na-na fits very well here, not gonna lie. What am I looking at? The occultist, okay. Interesting, I'd say. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I bet you think I'm here for the gold and jewels, right?
What if we get a sequel to Golem?
You'd be dead wrong. I'm here for the quartz. It's okay. I got you, pal. We're gonna do big things together. Just you and me.
New sticks? Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Those dirty Inquisition fuckers are like cockroaches. Always in the wrong place.
I think this is why they had that Golem game, not gonna lie. I think someone looked at the sticks gameplay they had from previous games and they're like, yeah, this could work for Golem, and it didn't, I guess. But Sticks is pretty cool. Like, it's a cool stealth game. It's a cool stealth game that feels.
It's about getting away with it.
I'm guessing like 360 era, but with modern graphics. Blades upgrade, mastered of stealth is back. Okay, nice new sticks.
I never felt anything like this before. I love it.
My precious. I thought this was the game, but this is just Nacon 2. Rogue Factor presents.
I have 1,000 questions. Why did you come back?
I stood in the home I was born in. In that moment, I felt a connection.
Oh, this is how this is. September 4? Okay, cool.
Madness and hatred and lots of it. Impossible. You must continue. We've begun to uncover.
Investigation gameplay? Oh, there's gonna be investigation?
Hi everyone, I am Jonathan Jacques Bellatet. I am the creative director and the art director on Hell Is Us here at Rogue Factor. So today I'm super excited because we're going to show you some brand new gameplay, some new sequences, and some new tidbits from the game that we've never shown before. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game that blends the old-school thrill of exploration and discovery with a deeply satisfying melee combat system. You're going to wield a lot of different weapons, master various skills, and strategically use your drone's abilities to gain the upper
So it's a Souls-like, but they did not want to use the word Souls-like. Okay.
The other half of the game is all about the exploration, the discovery, the joy that's related to them, and how they play a central role in your journey.
Do you know where the village of Jova is located?
It's in Akasa Marshes. It's quite a ways from here.
So you play as Remy, and you're returning to the country you were born in, the country is called Hadia, and search for answers, but only to find that the land is torn apart by a vicious civil war. With only a few pieces of information to start with, so you'll have to investigate to uncover the truth about your past and figure out where to go next. But unlike traditional games, Hell Is Us doesn't rely on quest markers or a guided path. There's no magical compass pointing you in the right direction, and there's no quest journal with, you know, the shopping list of everything that you need to do and in which order. But instead,
no quest markers.
Plattering approach encourages you to follow your own instincts, discover clues organically, and chart your own course through the adventure. In this sequence, we just arrive at a village called Jova. This is the village where Remy was born. He remembers that. He also remembers one more clue, which is his father.
This game's looking pretty cool, not gonna lie.
So these are kind of like the earliest clues that you have in the game in order to decide what to do, where to go, who to talk to, and how to chart your own path into trying to find your parents.
I do feel like these games benefit from
who are you?
From not having quest markers, you know.
Since the attack on Jova and the bombs.
At the same time, if they make if they make the main quest cool, but the rest of the quests not really cool, you are exploring a little bit for nothing.
That's when the bomb exploded.
So, I'm looking for the blacksmith. Do you know where he is?
I don't know him very well. I think he doesn't like kids much. I saw some villagers leaving with the ON peacekeepers on their white trucks. Maybe he went with them.
Okay.
Hey, did you see where the white trucks went?
I watched the white trucks drive away. They took the road that turns behind the hill with the ancient monuments. We can see them from here.
Yeah, this looks like... So I remember playing Morrowind, and Morrowind was kind of like that way. You would talk to someone, and the guy, instead of like, hey, the new, like, you have to go through River Run or whatever, like the new quest would be, and like Skyrim and Oblivion would place a marker, and you would kind of follow that marker alongside the path. Morrowind was more like, hey, if you follow the road northeast and turn into the left into the junction, and you walk like for 5 minutes, you're gonna get to the city you're looking for, and you had to follow those instructions. There was no quest marker. It made you like be more immersed in the game because you needed to actually read and listen to what the guys were saying. And I think I prefer that way because you are kind of too, like, you either are not immersed in the game and you are not going to do it, and you're not going to complete that game, or you are going to be forced to be immersed.
You might just stumble upon some incredible discoveries. Our core philosophy is simple.
But on your way there, like, it works a bit like, I guess Breath of the Wild worked, and Tears of the Kingdom. As you progress through the path, you would look to the sides like, oh, there's something there, and you go there, and there's something for you to explore.
But they perfectly illustrate our approach.
But I think that's the main problem. Like, if you look to the side and you see something that looks interesting, there needs to be something interesting there.
Unfortunately, I only happen to know one.
Hey Mark, welcome to the stream.
Dreadful compositions.
If you look to the side and you feel like there's a landmark there, and you go to that landmark and there's nothing for you to explore, like, it's a big letdown. And I get why people use quest markers to place your quests, like, go there, because like otherwise but then like they forget the rest of the world surrounding it.
That being said, for those who love a challenge, some of these deeper secrets will require keen observation and deduction to be uncovered. Good luck.
I'm digging this. The first trailer kind of left me like kind of weirded out, because it felt like a mix of Death Stranding with some horror game. Not that Death Stranding doesn't have horror elements, but you know. It felt bland, but then you start to see the rest of the trailer, like, oh, okay, this is actually looking pretty nice. It's fucking windy outside.
Thank you all
so if you guys hear noise,
so
it's my window, okay?
We hope you enjoyed this new look at Hell Is Us. We're so passionate about our game, and we've worked so hard on it. The game launches on September 4, 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. See you soon for more exciting news.
September 4th. That actually looks pretty good. Honestly, like, I think it's one of the games that's gonna be on my radar, in a nutshell. Okay.
قلة ال
Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss. Like, we didn't see anything about this game. We just saw a cutscene gameplay. No zero gameplay, so it is what it is. Hell is Us. Okay. Coming September. The Mound did not get my attention at all. I don't know what to feel about this. The Diablo clone. Styx is something to look out for. If you are into stealth games, definitely recommend this. Okay, this is getting quite aggressive. A bunch of card games. Yeah, okay, this is like the rest of the presentation. Fate of Nicole Wilson and Raven's Watch. Okay, cool. Cool stuff from Nacon. Coming down the pipeline this year. Give me a small moment, because this feels like the... Raining as fuck. I'm glad I need to leave immediately after I finish the show. That's gonna be good. In the meantime, like, the major piece of news, actually this was the first one I wanted to talk about. Trump tariffs threaten the future of physical video games, as analyst warns. And President Donald Trump newly imposed tariffs could make publishers decide to stop releasing physical games due to increased costs of manufacturing, and analysts suggested. After weeks of threats, Trump now imposed 25% tariffs on goods that have been imported from Mexico and Canada. And in addition, Trump announced a further 10% tariffs on goods from China, on top of the previously announced 10%, so that's 20%. Tariffs on Mexico and China will likely have a significant impact on video game industry, due to both regions being a large part in the physical production of both physical video games and games consoles themselves. Posting on Blue Sky, Circana analyst Matt Piscatella suggested that the increased cost to import physical goods from Mexico, which is where the vast majority of discs for North American physical games are produced, could see publishers move further away from physical games. In response to Nacon Partners analyst Daniel Hamad, that's ZugX on Twitter, noting that the 20% China tariffs impacts on consoles and the 25% Mexico tariff will affect physical game manufacture. So what's the takeaway on this? The takeaway on this is that the new tariffs will probably affect video games, although I've seen people like saying it probably won't, and that the thing does not relate to one another. But it's so here's what I think about it. And again, I'm not a business analyst, I'm not an economist, but I will try to explain the best that I can. So let's go for a new blank board. Whatever. The new blank board. Please. No templates. Okay. So first of all, there's two things to know about. Like, let's draw the US here. Right? And what Trump proposes is what we have in Europe, like, for the longest time, which is like some imported goods tariffs. Like, we pay taxes on those, right? But now they want to pay taxes both from Canada and Mexico, and also from China, right? China is 20%. This is 25% and 25% here as well from Mexico. Right, this is the worst looking Mexico I've ever done. Some people say, well, this will not affect games prices. I think it will, like, it will not affect the it will not affect the final price. So that's my. I think this is what will happen. Like the final price will still be the A, right? Because those tariffs are not imposed on the consumer. Like the consumer gets the game, it's gonna be $80 again, and done, right? Those tariffs are imposed on the people that are making the distribution, right? So people that make the distribution, draw like a truck here, are making the distribution. Those tariffs are like the people that are imposed on those people, which means like the profit margin that you'll have on a game, like profit margin, will be a little bit less, right? You had this profit margin before tariffs, and now you're gonna have less 25% or less 20% because you're gonna need to pay. I mean, that's gonna be like, it does not translate to 20%. Just you're gonna have a little bit less of margin on your profit. How this will impact video games for me is there's two ways to go about this. Like if you're talking about manufacturing and hardware manufacturing, some companies already did this. Like Nintendo. Nintendo does not produce all consoles in China. They also produce consoles in Vietnam. They also have manufacturing in Brazil, and I believe in Europe as well. But compared to China, like China is the largest scale producer for Nintendo Switches, for instance. So they do need to like find a strategy of moving the bulk of production out of China, so they don't pay the 20%, right? Same with video game discs manufacturing and production. So you're gonna need to move factories away from Canada or from Mexico. So you mitigate those costs, like you mitigate the 25% and move to countries that are not basically like exposed to these new tariffs. So you basically, like if you do that move from those countries, you will mitigate the costs that you'll get for the remaining profit, right? So you go back to the profit that you once had. The problem is that, like, as all things right now, like you have the trade routes and you have the routes in place for those already for those places that are manufacturing equipment. And that means, like, if you change the place of production, you also need to change how, like, you transport that to the other countries, and that will probably impact the cost for quite a while. So that's how I think how it's gonna affect. I don't think it's gonna affect the consumer directly. But if they don't move the things from, like, if they don't move the manufacturing from the different places, the profit's gonna go down. And if the profit's gonna go down, eventually you're gonna have either a price increase on games again, like we had a few years ago. So the tariffs will not impact it directly, but will impact it indirectly, right? Because profits are gonna be lower. Or you're gonna see even less bets on, like, gigantic AAA titles, or like moving to digital will be a very big response as well, because you're not manufacturing the game, you're just placing it on digital stores, right? It's complicated, like you know, like I don't like touching on politics very much on my stream. I have my own opinions, and I think you guys should have yours. But it's like, this is bad for a lot of things. Like even VGC is pointing out, game preservationists have long argued that the move to digital only future will cause games to be lost forever if proper preservation measures aren't put in place. That's true. And obviously, like, this is gonna be, it's gonna be fucked, like if the prices later down the line still increase even further. Oh, and also I've touched this on my server, actually, on Discord, and I think he was talking to Duplo. Obviously, like, these tariffs will not be imposed on consumer, but because they will lower the profits on some other people, and obviously will make costs of living a little bit higher on the United States, the money that people will have available to buy games will also be diminished, right? So that means like even less profits. Companies will need to find ways to mitigate these costs in some place or another. But overall, this is not looking good for the video games. Besides the whole thing that we already talked about, like the stagnation of the industry, the massive layoffs, the massive shutdowns, the games costing millions to make. These tariffs will not help the industry at all. I don't think, like, overall the consumer will be affected directly, but there's indirect ways the consumer will be affected, and it's not the best way. It's not looking good, you know. In the meantime, at least you'll have Europe on this side of the pond. And video games produced in Europe will probably not be affected by this, as same as consoles imported by the European Union. Like, I guess we won't have problems on our side, like the Switch. We won't have problems with PlayStations or Xboxes. I mean, Xbox maybe, actually. I don't know if we have European manufacturer for Xbox, but Nintendo and PlayStation will probably not be affected, because even if we import that from China, we are already paying those tariffs anyway. So the price will relatively stay the same. It will maybe, however, equate the prices that we see, like when you see those differences, like you convert dollar to euros and it's a lot less than you would pay for the product that you are looking at. Maybe this will balance things a little bit in that sense, but I guess, like, this is just a guess. I'm not saying that will happen for sure. But yeah, Trump is doing stuff on that side. Not great, you know. And at the end, like, to finish the stream, I'm gonna talk about this, because this was the most random thing. I was not. Every piece of this title sounds like a fever dream, okay? So iconic game publisher Acclaim is coming back with Jeff Jarrett, of all people, as an advisor. Jeff Jarrett, if you guys don't know, Jeff Jarrett is the founder of TNA. So TNA Wrestling, right? You maybe if you are, like, a little bit younger, you won't remember Jeff Jarrett. I do remember Jeff Jarrett from TNA, and he appeared also in a couple of WWF games, I believe, or WWE. I'm not sure if it's WWE at the time. I think it was still WWF, but it's kind of weird, right? So originally founded in 1987 by a trio of former Activision employees, Acclaim became known for a steady stream of games based on popular IP before declaring bankruptcy in 2004. More than 20 years later, Acclaim is back, led by CEO Alex Joseph, the former founder and CEO of Graffiti Games, known for their Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. In a statement, the publisher says its initial goals are to support indie developers and reignite classic franchises, providing funding, marketing, and PC support to indie studios. Acclaim was perhaps best known for its licensed games, and one of the key aims of the new company is to resurrect and revitalize its beloved portfolio of classic IP enjoyed for years by millions of players. We'll get to that in a second. To accomplish this, an advisory board of esteemed industry leaders, has been set up to shape the publisher's future, with board members including Russell Binder, founding partner of licensing and merchandising company Striker Entertainment, Mark Kaplan, founder of business consulting firm Rich Partners, and wrestler and entrepreneur Jeff Jarrett. Jared, who previously starred in Acclaim's WWF Attitude game. There you go, WWF. I remembered it. For more than 3 decades, I've had the privilege to have been a part of both the wrestling and gaming universes. And I'm thrilled to now be a part in the revival of Acclaim, the iconic publisher known for releasing some of the most legendary games of the 80s and 90s. I don't even know if you guys remember Acclaim. I know some of you do. I don't even know what we're doing here. From my early involvement with the publishers hit 16-bit WWF titles to my experience, helping shape the TNA wrestling series, which spawned the first video game Wrestler to become a full-time roster member in the Squared Circle. I've seen firsthand the type of impact great games can have on players and fans. Resurrecting Acclaim is an opportunity to impart in the same degree of passion and love to a new generation, and I'm excited to be involved. So Acclaim published around 300 games over the course of its original run. Many of them were published based on popular movies and TV shows. Notable hits include the WWF games, Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants. I'm gonna say notable hits and the Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants in the same sentence is kind of crazy. It's honestly delusional, to be honest. And then Terminator 2, Alien 3, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, South Park, and the home versions of such Midway series as Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam. And my reaction to this news was, what the fuck? What are we doing? So here's the thing. I'm gonna dissect this first of all, like piece by piece. I don't think this feels like I thought I went to bed and hit the bong pretty hard, and I was absolutely high when I read this piece of news. And turns out I don't do drugs, so this was real. I'm just reading through all of this, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do here. So first of all, Alex Joseph from Graffiti Games, they actually did quite well. Okay, so I have some faith in Alex. I think he has an eye for quite some cool games, and they did good with Graffiti Games. Jeff Jarrett, this is probably just a business opportunity for him, and that's fine. I don't mind him being on the board at all, or advisory board. What makes my head turn in this specific instance is Acclaim is known for stuff that doesn't belong to them. First of all, if we open Wikipedia of Acclaim games, and I probably have this on my history because I was searching that before. Games published, there you go. I'm not even go into the NES stuff because they have Tiger Heli, Star Voyager, 3D World Runner. You have Rambo, WWF WrestleMania, Knight Rider. Okay, that was a pack-in video. Double Dragon, Revenge, Solo Recall. They have a bunch of stuff like The Punisher, NBA All-Star Challenge, Superstars, Beetlejuice. So you see that this is a lot of, it's either home console ports or it's licensed stuff. Okay, you see Spider-Man and the X-Men in arcades, Revenge, NBA All-Star Challenge, Alien, RoboCop, Addams Family, NBA Jam, Stargate, Jesus. And the more you go, the more they become more unhinged. But you got stuff like Revolt, you got stuff like Extreme G. Extreme G was actually quite a cool racer, and so was Revolt. Here's the problem, though. They don't own any of this now. So I don't even understand what they're doing. You can see here that, BMX Triple X. Yeah, who doesn't want BMX Triple X to come back? That game fucking sucked. That game was bad, man. So there you go. If you go to asset selling here, you can see, so follow interesting offers for Take-Two Interactive. THQ had acquired the worldwide publishing rights to Juiced. So Juiced is with Take-Two Interactive. Saber Interactive has the rights to Turok, and they're actually releasing a new Turok. I think it's this year, Turok Origins, if I'm not mistaken. Turok Origins. Or next year, maybe. Doesn't even have a date right now. Turok Origins. This is by Saber Interactive. If you keep going, like 2004, you got wrestling. I'm not gonna even say like they're gonna bring wrestling games back, because those licenses will probably be a nightmare at this time. NBA Jam, it's owned by EA, and I don't think EA will give hand of that unless they hire them as a sub-publisher. But I don't see EA doing that. The EA has its own like smaller publishers division to get this type of games out. What else? Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. So Baldur's Gate is a licensed property, so that means Wizards of the Coast. Powerpuff Girls, again, like this is all licensed. Samurai Jack, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Wallace and Gromit, AFL, Australian football video games. So this is like super specific to Australia. Sega Vex. I guess we can count Vex. Vex was probably sold to other people. We'll find out in like just a minute. Published by Acclaim for the GameCube, PlayStation, gameplay plot. Doesn't even say. It's fine. But you got like Virtua Tennis for PlayStation 2. So everything that they published was basically like licensed games or like home console ports, and most of the stuff was sold. Okay. People were saying on Twitter like, oh yeah, bring back the wrestling games. Like that's not gonna happen. Or bring back Mortal Kombat, and I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. Like Mortal Kombat has been on Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers will not give hand of a Mortal Kombat IP. They wanted to sell NetherRealm without the IP, for fuck's sake. So that like Mortal Kombat's not going anywhere. Same as NBA Jam. And the other thing here, like, so like we are not seeing these franchises coming back. I posted Revolt on my Instagram, a picture of Revolt with today's topics, and Poshita, which usually is there in chat as well. Poshita was like, bring back Revolt Remastered. I'm like, man, I have bad news for you. Revolt was bought by a company called WeGo, as in We Go, and WeGo published Revolt on GOG and also on Android. So they're not gonna give a hand off a Revolt. Which leads me to my second thing. So if they don't have the IPs, they can try and bring them back, of course. I mean, they have investors for a reason. But some of those IPs are gonna be very costly, and I don't see like the major games coming back. Unless it's something like Revolt, I guess. Revolt would probably be okay. But Turok, like, it's not gonna happen. Turok is with Saber, and Saber's already releasing one, so they're not gonna give hands off that IP. What I can see here is like they're saying they want to be in the publishing indie business, right? And I feel this is such a I don't want to like sound like a hater. It's more like people see the success in indie games because you only see the ones that are successful, right? Because you see Vampire Survivors coming out and like, oh, it's being played by a million of players. You see Balatro, 5 million players bought Balatro, like crazy, right? Balatro was such a good success story. But how many indie games like tried to make it between, you know, like Balatro and Vampire Survivors, which is like 1 year apart or 2 years apart? How many of them tried to make it and did not make it? Right? Like this, we're talking like what, 1 in 20 something? One, and I'm talking like some bigger indie games. I'm not even gonna talk with games like itch.io or stuff or something like that. I'm talking like the big budget in quotes indie games, stuff like Inscription, stuff like, I don't know, I don't even think like Hades, right? Like how many of them like actually make it? And I think this is such a misguided take of like I remember 3D Realms trying to be revived like a few years ago, and it was the same thing, like, oh yeah, we're publishing indie games now, and like you don't hear a lot about 3D Realms now. You can check it out. Sure, it's okay, this is in Portuguese. Reboot. Okay, they were rebooted in 2023. They published Iron Fury. They have Rip Out in early access. And they developed Kingpin Reloaded, which was already one of their games, but it was just like a remaster. Developed Graven, and co-published Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. I don't even heard about this game. And so, like in March 2024, Saber Interactive was sold to Beacon Interactive, a new company from Saber co-founder Matthew Kark. And many of Saber's studios, including 3D Realms, were included in the sale, so they were already bought. And all this, we're gonna be publishing indie games, is already like gone, right? Or maybe they'll still work as an indie publisher, but they're now under the Beacon label. And Acclaim, like, I feel Acclaim is going to go the same route. Like, they're gonna publish 4 or 5 games. Maybe they'll have some success, but not really, because like, you guys have ever heard of Wrath of Aeon of Ruin, or whatever this game is? Or, you know, like, I heard of Iron Fury because they were called Iron Maiden at first, I think, and they were like in I think they were like sent a cease and desist because of the name. Name change. There you go. Yeah, because they were called Iron Maiden, and so Iron Maiden, the band, sued them for $2 million. So Jesus, good luck. So yeah, like Acclaim coming back. Like I feel this is what do they have though? Like, they don't have the IPs, they don't have the team. Do they have brand recognition? Like, I don't feel there's a world where I'm gonna go back into a game store or like putting up a game and see the Acclaim logo and be like, oh yeah, those guys, right? Acclaim, they made cool games. No, they didn't. They made cool console ports and they made some cool IP games. But most of the stuff that weren't theirs. They were just like guest publishing. So it was not even their studios. They were just publishing, right? I don't know. Like Jesus Christ, man, this is so cooked. It's so fucking cooked. I don't understand at all what's the move here at all. Like, hopefully this goes good for them. Like I'm not saying I wish this to fail. But it feels like such a weird move, like resurrecting Acclaim after 20 years. And what IPs do we own from Acclaim? 0. We had to start from scratch. Then why do we call it even Acclaim? Like, just fucking call it anything else. Because I don't think there's brand recognition for Acclaim now. Like, whatever they've done, like, I'm sure people remember fondly of... Yeah, I don't know. I guess NBA Jam. I do remember NBA Jam, but they don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have anything. I guess Headhunter for PlayStation 1. But this was developed by Amuse. Like, I'm not saying like the games were bad or anything. It just like doesn't. I don't feel there's enough IP strongness lacking of a better word. Strongness is just a word I just made up right now. For them to come back. And it's crazy. I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me that this is actually happening. Dave Mirra, Freestyle BMX, like, I don't... Ants Racing. Want to see Ants Racing coming back? Ant Z Racing, based on the movie Ant Z. Apparently that was a racing game. I remember Aggressive Inline, that's for sure. Fur Fighters? Sure. I don't know. I don't know if you played it or not. Ant Z racing game. This is for Game Boy Color. This is for Game Boy Color, so like maybe not, but you may have played Ant Z Extreme Racing, which is extreme because it was made for Microsoft Windows, Xbox, PlayStation 2, and Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance was the previous mentioned Ant Z Racing. Oh no, it's actually a different one. So they had a sequel. Crazy. This is absolutely crazy to me. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Acclaim, like, whatever. I wish them the best, man. I hope, like, everything goes well for them. Especially, like, Alex Joseph seems like a guy that knows how to pick his fights. He's known for Turnip Boy robs a bank and Turnip Boy commits tax evasion, right? If you look at graffiti games, I don't even know if they have a page. Graffiti games, there you go. Games, they have Adventure of Chris, Bite the Bullet, Blue Fire. I don't remember any of this like coming out except for Turnip Boy. Res Please, every time I was playing without a healer. There you go. Turnip Boy, and Ugly. So they had 2 hits, and that's it. If we can call Turnip Boy commits tax evasion hit. Wild show, man. Wild comeback from Acclaim. I guess this is gonna do it. I do need to jet this time. I do need to leave because I'm meeting someone after this at 5 o'clock, and I don't have much time. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. This was a weird show, not gonna lie. Because we talk about so much stuff, and I feel like we've talked about nothing in particular. But this is gonna do it. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, just, you know, give a comment, say hi in the comments, say something. And you can follow me here on socials here, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel there. I'll post stuff eventually. I mostly shit post on Instagram and on Twitter, so if you like shit posting, follow me there. And this is it. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and I'll see you next week. Next week I'll probably return on Thursday. I'll be back on my regular schedule finally, and this will be it. This will be the show. Hope you guys have a good weekend, everyone, and stay safe because it's raining as fuck. Thank you, everybody. See ya.